Well, the row over Congress fake promises has escalated after Prime Minister Modi, Mallikarjun Kharge, engaged in political slugfest on platform X. This comes after Mallikarjun Kharge revealed he had advised Maharashtra leaders to only promise what they can fulfill and learn a lesson from Karnataka, where Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar had called for a review of the Shakti Scheme due to the stress caused on because of the state budget. The Prime Minister called this Congress model of failure, which the Congress has now refuted and presented records of several states. Well, this is something which has been going on between the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress Party for a long time, but Mr. Kharge has taken some personal offence to what the Prime Minister said. We'll talk about this with our guest. Joining us at this point in time is Shehzad Poonawala, BJP National Spokesperson. T.S. Singhdio, former Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, will also be joining us on the program to talk more about this. This is obviously an important conversation to be had. Shehzad, I'll begin with you. Do you think that Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge is perhaps getting quite touchy about what the Prime Minister has said? This is not the first time the Prime Minister has targeted Congress-run states.
Mr. Kharge has made a candid admission that the Congress's guarantees are indeed nakli guarantees. They are fake guarantees which never get fulfilled. And therefore, Mr. Kharge was giving sound advice to perhaps Rahul Gandhi, who is the pioneer of Khatakat politics, Karnataka and Mr. Siddaramaiah, and also his governments in Himachal and Telangana, where promise after promise has not been fulfilled. For instance, in Himachal, promises were made that 1500 will be given to every woman, 300 units will be made free for electricity, that they will reduce prices, that they will then give the farmers huge benefits. Instead, what the Himachal Pradesh government ended up doing, it couldn't pay salaries and pensions on time. It had to go in a financial crisis of sorts. We have seen the manner in which they taxed even toilet seats and then they had to take that tax back. They increased diesel prices, they increased electricity prices. Similarly, in Karnataka also, they did the same thing. They made huge promises. Now, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar said we have to review Shakti promise. Today, R.V. Deshpande has said that our freebies are very dangerous. It is prone to misuse. These are their own leaders saying this. And in Karnataka too, there is no money left for development and infrastructure. The chief financial advisor has said this. And because of this, Karnataka has now increased taxes on petrol, milk, diesel, stamp duty, water. And this is the financial mess they've led the Karnataka government to also. So therefore, kul milakar, the point is that Congress means loot and jhoot. It either does loot or it gives jhoota vadas, which it can't take and fulfill, and therefore it then runs away, and the Congress's guarantees are nothing much more than the waste tissue paper, and therefore Kharge has advised them. Now, Prime Minister has only spoken what Mr. Kharge has said, so I don't know why Mr. Kharge is feeling bad. He should in fact tell Rahul Gandhi to stop this Khatakat politics.
Shehzad, in fact, Mr. Siddaramaiah also weighed in on this attack by the Prime Minister and went on to say that the reason why Congress-run states are not able to fulfill their financial obligations and have not been accorded the budget that they deserve is because the central government is playing around, with the people of these states because they're not run by the Bharatiya Janata Party. How do you respond to that?
First of all, these promises, when they were made, did they ask Mr. Modi that, Mr. Modi, if by mistake we come to power, then you please help us fund our promises? I mean, this is the most ridiculous excuse and argument. All these promises were made on the basis of perhaps their calculations which they have done based on the budgets of Karnataka. But having said that, Karnataka between 2004 to 14 got 81,795 crores from the UPA. Between 2014 to 24, Vinny, please note, Karnataka got 2,93,226 crores, which is 3.5 times more. Its tax devolution, the share, increased by 258%. So if anything, Modi ji has been more than courteous and kind towards Karnataka in the last 10 years than UPA has.
Shehzad, in fact, Mr. Kharge went on to invoke something that he has said many times before in the past about the 2 crore jobs per year that the Prime Minister promised in 2014. How would you respond to this reiteration of this attack by not only Mr. Kharge but a number of Congress politicians?
First of all, the 2 crore job opportunities are not government jobs that are being sought to be created, because obviously the government can't employ that many number of people. These are opportunities created in the private sector and the public sector space. And if you actually see the data of employment, whether it is the EPFO data or whether it is the PLFS data or whether you see the data that is generated by various agencies like RBI and SBI, you will find that more than 10 crore job opportunities and new jobs have been created over a period of the last 6-7 years. So it has been in the range of 1.5 to 2 crores per year. Having said that, let us use the RBI report. The RBI report and the SBI report, both these reports show that the UPA managed to create only 2 crore jobs in the period of 10 years, whereas the Modi government was able to do in excess of 9.5, 10 crore jobs in the last 10 years. Point number one. Point number two, Mr. Kharge's leader, Priyanka Vadra, made a promise of 5 lakh government jobs in Himachal Pradesh. They have a government in Himachal Pradesh from December 2022. Can Mr. Kharge be kind enough to tell us how many jobs have been given there? In fact, they are shutting down the vacancies because they don't have money to pay for those job opportunities in the government sector. In Karnataka, they promised 3 or 4 lakh Sarkari jobs. They haven't been able to fulfill that. In Telangana, when the jobs were sought by the youth, which was promised by Congress, they ran away from that promise too. So making big promises and not delivering is a hallmark of the Congress. In fact, let me just give you one example. Congress for the last 4 generations has been saying Garibi Hatao. It took a Narendra Modi to actually implement Garibi Hatao when 25 crore people were lifted out of poverty in the last 10 years. Congress just gave a slogan.
All right, fair enough. Mr. T.S. Singh Deo, former Deputy Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, also joins us on the program. Sir, appreciate you joining us. Me and Shehzad have been discussing the recent back and forth that took place between the Prime Minister and Congress President, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge. The Prime Minister has said that all the Congress-run states in the country right now are struggling because the Congress party has made promises that they have not been able to fulfill. We'll talk about how Mr. Kharge reacted, but first up, what do you make of this statement?
Good evening. Thank you for asking me to join the show, the program. Diwali greetings and all other festivities that are in and around. Greetings to you, our co-panelist Shehzad ji and all the viewers. So we are in an age where compared to what is going on in the presidential elections in America, in very, very, very mild mode. That apart, I'm shocked to see the way they react and interact in America. But here, though what we hear sometimes seems very charged and sometimes objectionable too, but nothing compared to what we hear in what is going on in the presidential elections in America. That said, we are in a age and time where competitive populism seems to be the talk of the day. No party seems to be wanting to shy away from announcing programs that would be attractive, that would appear to the voters as if it is something that would benefit them if this party comes to power. And it has been going on for quite some time. What we are witnessing now is the limitation of all political parties to deliver on all counts, if that is what is to be expected. If you say something, you should be doing it, whether it is in your manifesto, your Ghoshna Patra, or your Sankalp Patra, or your guarantee performance. Whatever you say should be deliverable and delivered. That is what the voter, though sometimes they are, they take it with a big pinch of salt. These political persons come and they say lots of things and we don't expect them to deliver, but okay, let's see. So that seems to be the day and age in which we are in electoral politics. And whenever elections come around these days, a lot of announcements are made as part of the manifesto, or now separately as some are picked up and taken as guarantees to be fulfilled, sometimes announced at the first cabinet meeting, which is unwise. Sometimes program is laid out, in so much time we'll do this, in so much time we'll do that, and generally speaking, deliver within the 5-year tenure that you have as an elected government. So this is where we are today.
All right. Okay. So, in a sense, sir, what you have just said, and I'm going to take that back to Shehzad, is the fact that Shehzad, it's not only the Congress party, BJP also has made promises to the voter. It's the age, perhaps, of freebies. It's the age of wooing the voter, regardless of what the consequences or the budgets are.
First of all, it is an absolute pleasure to be on the same panel, although on different sides, with a very erudite person like Mr. Singhdev. So I extend my greatest regard to him. But having said that, and I will disagree with sir just on one point. Sir, it is a real pleasure. Sir, I will just disagree on one point. For instance, let me give you a specific example. In Himachal Pradesh, the Congress party promised 1,500 rupees per woman, irrespective of the strata of society she belongs to. Obviously, they can't fulfill that promise, and you know what has happened in Himachal? The entire debt has gone out of control. In fact, in the 5 years that BJP was in power in Himachal, we increased the debt by say 19,000 odd crores, and in the just last 2 years, 20,000 crore debt has increased under Congress. So you can imagine where they are taking Himachal. But on the other hand, if you compare BJP government, BJP promised 1,500 rupees to women, but between age group of 21 to 60, and only those women whose family income is less than 2.5 lakh rupees. So there was a targeting done. Giving a social welfare, it has to be given in a targeted manner so that A, it serves the purpose, B, it does not become a burden on the entire taxpayer and on the financial state of the state, and C, that it does not become open to misuse. And therefore, this targeting of the welfare is very important. But unfortunately, Congress promises the world to people. Now, sir has himself come from Chhattisgarh. He was the Honorable Deputy CM. Sir, you know what promises you all made in 2018. And you know Mr. Baghel did not fulfill any of the promises. In fact, I think out of 36 main promises, you are the person who wrote those promises. I know against your will. Against your wishes, you have written those promises in the manifesto. But out of those, you tell me how many you have fulfilled. 19 out of 36 at best, if I can count. I don't think the liquor prohibition was not fulfilled. 700 schools was not fulfilled. 200 food parks were not fulfilled. So with greatest of regards, sir, Mr. Singhdev, you are personally a bhuktabogi of these freebies being promised and not being delivered by your colleagues.
Okay, we have a power-packed panel. Mr. Jairam Thakur, former Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, also joins us on the broadcast. Mr. Thakur, I hope you can hear me, sir.
मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
सर, आपकी आवाज बिल्कुल आ रही है। सर, आप मेरी आवाज सुन पा रहे हैं?
हाँ, सुन पा रहा हूँ मैं। एक मिनट थोड़ा सा। हाँ, प्लीज।
सर, प्रधानमंत्री और मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे के बीच में जो तू मैं चल रही है, उस पे फ्रीबीज को लेकर या फिर ऐसे वादों को और इरादों को लेकर आक्रमण किया जा रहा है। प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा है कि जो कांग्रेस द्वारा रन किए जो राज्य हैं, वहाँ पर जितने भी वायदे किए गए थे वो पूरे नहीं हो पा रहे हैं। खड़गे जी ने कहा कि सबसे बड़ा जो खेल खेला जा रहा है, जो सबसे बड़ा जुमला जो खेला जा रहा है, वो 140 करोड़ भारतीयों के साथ खेला जा रहा है। वो 2 करोड़ नौकरियां कहाँ गई? वो बाकी की जो प्रॉमिसेस की थी प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने 2014 में, उनका क्या हुआ? क्या टिप्पणी करना चाहेंगे आप इस तू मैं को लेकर?
देखिए, सबसे बड़ी बात, अगर ये फ्रीबीज के सिलसिले में पूरे देश भर में किसी प्रदेश की अगर चर्चा है तो वो हिमाचल प्रदेश की है।
जी।
और हिमाचल प्रदेश में कांग्रेस ने सत्ता में आने से पहले, यानी कि जब विपक्ष में थे, तो 10 गारंटियां दी थी। आज 2 साल बीतने के बावजूद भी वो गारंटियां धरी की धरी है। और उसके विपरीत मुख्यमंत्री जो है वो लगातार फैसले लिए जा रहे, जो वादे किए थे उन वादों से हट करके फैसले कर रहे हैं। अब मैं आपको उदाहरण के रूप में एक बात जरूर कहना चाहता हूं। गारंटी ये थी कि 1500 रुपए 18 से 60 साल की महिलाओं को देंगे। उनकी संख्या हिमाचल प्रदेश में पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से लगभग 22 लाख बनती है। और हिमाचल प्रदेश में अभी तक लोकसभा के चुनाव को ध्यान में रखते हुए कोई 22 हजार महिलाओं को उन्हें दिया और कहा कि गारंटी पूरी हो गई। क्योंकि मुख्यमंत्री सुखविंदर सुक्खू जी ये कह रहे हैं कि मैंने 5 गारंटी पूरी कर दी। तो गारंटी पूरी कहां से हुई? 22 लाख महिलाओं के साथ आप वादा कर रहे हैं और उसके बाद सिर्फ 20,000 और 25,000 के बीच में जो है आप देने की स्थिति में हो रहे हैं।
सर, सुक्खू जी कहते हैं जो पुरानी पेंशन स्कीम थी वो लाने का वायदा उन्होंने किया था, वो लेकर आए। महिलाओं को 1500 रुपए का जो अलाउंस देना था, वो जो था, मैं ये बता रहा हूं जो उन्होंने कहा। आपने कटाक्ष में, उन्होंने कहा 1500 रुपये का जो वायदा किया था औरतों को वो भी उन्होंने पूरा किया। क्या कहेंगे आप?
देखिए सरासर झूठ बोल रहे हैं। देखिए सिर्फ ओपीएस के सिलसिले में उन्होंने फैसला लिया है और फैसला लिया है, लेकिन उसके पूर्ण रूप से उसको लागू करने में अभी भी वक्त लग रहा है। और दूसरी बात में जो बात कह रहे हैं आप, 1500 रुपए हर महिला को, जो 18 से 60 साल की महिलाओं के साथ जो गारंटी दी है, उसको तो पूरा किया ही नहीं उनने अभी तक। वो सिर्फ चुनाव के दिनों में दिया था, और उन महिलाओं को दिए जिनको भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने पहले सोशल सिक्योरिटी पेंशन के तहत कवर किया हुआ है। 1000 रुपए मिलता तो उसमें 500 रुपए डाल करके 1500 रुपए का की गारंटी पूरी हो गई। 1150 रुपए जिस महिला को मिलता है उसको 350 रुपए डाल के कह रहे कि गारंटी पूरी हो गई। वो गारंटी पूरी नहीं हुई। हिमाचल प्रदेश में कहा था कि कैबिनेट की पहली बैठक में हम फैसला लेंगे कि 5 लाख नौकरियां 5 साल में देंगे, सरकारी नौकरियां, और 1 लाख नौकरियां 1 साल में देंगे। 2 साल हो गए, एक भी नौजवान को सरकारी नौकरी इन 2 साल के कार्यकाल में अभी तक मिली नहीं। और उल्टा हिमाचल प्रदेश में भी हाल ही में एक नोटिफिकेशन की है मुख्यमंत्री जी ने, और उसमें उन्होंने कहा है कि हिमाचल प्रदेश में जितने भी परमानेंट और टेम्परेरी पद पिछले 2 वर्षों से खाली पड़े हैं, जो खाली पड़े हैं उनको समाप्त कर दिया जाता, उनको एबॉलिश कर दिया जाता। फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट को डायरेक्शन दे दी कि इनको अब बजट के रिकॉर्ड से भी निकाल दिया जाए, ये बजट का हिस्सा नहीं होनी चाहिए। आप अंदाजा लगाइए, गारंटी तो आप 5 लाख नौकरी को दे रहे थे और 1.5 लाख नौकरी आपने एक फैसले के तहत ही आपने खत्म कर दी। 300 बिजली का यूनिट फ्री देने की बात कही थी, कैबिनेट की पहली बैठक में फैसला लेने की बात कही थी। 125 यूनिट जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने बहुत पहले से हम दे रहे थे, उसको भी आपने बंद कर दिया। तो गारंटी पूरी करने की बातें, कौन सी गारंटी पूरी कर रहे हैं वो हिमाचल प्रदेश में? अभी तक सही मायने में एक भी गारंटी पूरी नहीं हुई है, और इसलिए पूरे देश भर में इस बात की चर्चा है। हरियाणा के कांग्रेस के नेताओं ने ऊपर पार्टी हाईकमान को कहा है कि हिमाचल के गारंटी के चक्कर में हमको नुकसान हुआ है, गारंटियां दे रखी, पूरी हुई नहीं। कर्मचारियों को सैलरी नहीं मिल रही है, पेंशन नहीं मिल रही आज की तारीख में। ये स्थिति है हिमाचल की।
Mr. Dio, how would you respond to that? Do you think this is a classic case of, the distance between the lip and the cup, or do you think that politically certain parties, including the Congress party today, which finds itself running from pillar to post, trying to get more traction, is obliged to make promises sometimes that is unable to fulfill? In fact, Mr. Siddaramaiah targeted the central government, saying that we've been starved of funds and this is not cooperative federalism, it's outright exploitation.
See, when we are in politics and when we are in the electoral field, when we are fighting an election, you are supposed to put forward your roadmap for the next 5 years. So there's absolutely nothing wrong about putting forward a roadmap. That is what manifesto is all about, I am presuming. That apart, as politics has become tougher and tougher and tougher, all political parties are pressured into making promises. We must come to an understanding, whether legal or otherwise, whether through the Election Commission or through the Supreme Court, as to what is a freebie and what is a, let us say, social obligation of the government. And freebies must be out. There are no two things about that. Freebies must be out. That apart, I don't think any political party, any serious and the major political parties would be making announcements without calculating as to whether they would be live up to those promises or guarantees or not. I doubt very much if any political party would be doing it. We tend to go overboard. There's no two things about that. All political parties across the spectrum, in the flow of the election, in the pressure of elections, we may say things which either we haven't thought out to the end. Shehzad ji was mentioning Chhattisgarh and the manifesto we had made there. For one, Shehzad bhai, I didn't do it unwillingly. I was very, very willing, and I was wanting to put forward a manifesto that would help the party. We had gone to the people, met a lot of people, more than 1 lakh, in fact, more than 1,000 organizations throughout the state. And we put forward what they wanted. Maybe we said more than we could do. I would accept that. We certainly would, I would accept. See, that has happened with all of us. Since you mentioned Chhattisgarh, so see Raman Singh ji's time, they had promised a Jersey cow to all Adivasi families. Not practical, not possible. We're not able to deliver. So without getting too much into this Congress, BJP or other thing, all political parties are finding it difficult to meet them out. Respected Thakur Sahab, Jairam ji is here on the panel. He mentioned about Himachal. And we are having a tough time in Himachal to deliver. In the process of forming
Why
these
do you think
manifestos-
so? That is, why are you having a tough time, sir, in Himachal?
I'll get into that. Party has appointed me, nominated me as one of the coordinators for forming manifestos in these states. And believe me, and I'm saying it on record, the first thing Kharge ji and Rahul ji told me when I went to thank them for the responsibility was make sure that whatever is announced as either a guarantee or something to be done, it can be done. That is the first thing I was instructed when I was asked to be one of the two persons who are to be forming these manifestos for these four states, Jammu Kashmir, Haryana, Maharashtra and Jharkhand immediately. National Manifesto Committee, one was there, that was another experience. And you asked about Himachal.
Yeah.
I asked when this matter came up, party pointed out to me, you see, we have the experience of Karnataka and Himachal. They seem to be having a little trouble in implementing them. Okay, there is some time, but they seem to have having trouble. We are not going to say anything that is going to put us in a similar position. That was the first thing I was instructed. Then in the process, I contacted, I will not name them, but a very senior officer in the Himachal government. And I asked him, sir, what is the issue? Why are we having this problem? Jairam ji, please don't take it otherwise. But what he told me was, one, as far as the OPS and NPS is concerned, Himachal is linked not to the national evaluations, but linked to Punjab. So when the salary is decided, when the PF etc. are decided, they are linked to Punjab. And the other thing he told me was when the government came in, they were 15,000 crores down. Now this is Himachal, which has a budget of about 50,000 crores. Effectively, I was told 48,000 crores, because when we make a budget, we normally expect revenues which we don't get. Usually don't get. Almost every budget meets that situation. And now they have been able to come to a position where they have paid about 5,000 crores of arrears, and they are struggling with the current salary bill and remove the arrears. So this is one thing. Imagine Himachal with a budget of about 50,000 crores, with a salary bill of about 28,000 crores, had an arrear of 15,000 crores. That is what this. So I am not again saying this as Congress BJP. I am into this seriously, and this is what a very serious senior officer told me about Himachal. So Himachal has a particular case where the salary structure is dependent not on central government announcements, but on Punjab, one, and they had a huge backlog of payment to be made.
Absolutely, sir. I appreciate the graciousness with which you have handled this subject. Of course, the back and forth between political parties is very common, but good to see the camaraderie here between the Congress and the BJP. Shehzad, how would you respond to what Mr. T.S. Singh Dio has said? It's obviously not only a problem that pertains to the Congress. There are some logistical issues as well, and you have to give time to parties to fulfill all their promises. Perhaps they're still working on solutions. The Congress party in Bangalore, the Congress, the Congress in Karnataka, the Congress in Himachal Pradesh, they are working to do things as best as they can, but you have to give it some time.
First of all, Vineet, I am feeling like a pygmy in front of two stalwarts. Obviously, हमारे हिमाचल के पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री जयराम जी भी है और छत्तीसगढ़ के उप मुख्यमंत्री, तो उन दोनों के बीच में मैं तो मानो कि एक छोटा
नहीं
सा एक
शहजाद भाई,
कार्यकर्ता।
चिंता हम लोग करते हैं जब आप सामने रहते हैं।
नहीं नहीं सर, मैं तो
नहीं
केवल
नहीं,
इतनी
ऐसा
बात
नहीं।
कहकर मैं केवल इतनी बात कहकर मेरे सीनियर लीडर बैठे तो वही बात आगे बढ़ाएंगे। मैं केवल एक ही चीज कहूंगा, देखिए प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि हर पार्टी में ये जो बता रहे सर देव सिंह जी, वो ठीक बात है, पर राहुल गांधी आजकल शॉर्टकट की पॉलिटिक्स में वो यकीन रखने रखे। जैसे कि कास्ट सेंसस वाला इशू, जिनके परिवार ने कास्ट और आरक्षण का विरोध किया हो, अब वो शॉर्टकट के चक्कर में सिस्टम को शॉर्ट सर्किट करना चाहते हैं। उसी प्रकार से इकोनॉमिक फ्रंट पर भी मैं एक ही उदाहरण देकर अपनी बात समाप्त करता हूं। कांग्रेस वो पार्टी थी जिसने 4 से 14 के बीच में ओपीएस के खिलाफ एनपीएस की वकालत की, चिदम्बरम जी, मोंटेक सिंह अहलूवालिया के बयान लिखे। फिर जैसे ही सत्ता के बाहर आ जाती है कांग्रेस, उसका स्टैंड पलट जाता है और हिमाचल को ओपीएस के चक्कर में लाकर आज की स्थिति ऐसी है कि जो उनके सरकारी कर्मचारी हैं, उनके वेतन और बाकी हमारे पेंशन नहीं दे पाने की स्थिति में, और ओपीएस को राइटली ओपीएस को नेशनल मैनिफेस्टो से गायब कर दिया। आई थिंक द बेटर काउंसिल ऑफ द लाइक्स ऑफ मिस्टर सिंहदेव एंड चिदम्बरम प्रिवेल। तो मेरा केवल इतना कहना है कि जब तक ये शॉर्टकट की पॉलिटिक्स करने वाले लोग सिस्टम को शॉर्ट सर्किट करेंगे खटाखट पॉलिटिक्स से, तब तक ये पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम में ये चलता रहेगा। पर देश की जनता ने हरियाणा में अपने टॉयलेटों को बचा दिया। उनको लगा कांग्रेस आएगी तो हमारे संडास पे भी टैक्स लग जाएगा, तो उन्होंने कांग्रेस को बाहर कर दिया।
जी जयराम जी, आपको क्या लगता है कि शहजाद ने जैसा कहा कि ये जो T20 की जो राजनीति है, शॉर्टकट की जो राजनीति है, इसको एक तरह से प्रोसेस करना आसान है पर इसमें अमल करना उतना ही मुश्किल है, और ये राजनीति में पॉलिटिशियंस के लिए भी एक बहुत बड़ा संदेश है। जैसा TS सिंहदेव ने भी कहा कि उतना मत प्रॉमिस कीजिए जितना आप डिलीवर ना कर पाए।
ने बिल्कुल ठीक बात कही और मैं इस बात से सहमत हूँ। देखिए हिमाचल प्रदेश में नहीं पूरे देश भर में ये स्थिति है और राजनीतिक पार्टी सत्ता हासिल करने के लिए प्रयत्न करती है, इसमें कोई बुरी बात भी नहीं है, लेकिन इस लेवल पर, इस स्तर पर चले जाना कि व्यवहारिक रूप से वो संभव नहीं है, उस पर सोचना चाहिए। ओपीएस की अगर बात करते हैं, ओपीएस को समाप्त किसने किया था? वीरभद्र सिंह जी हिमाचल प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री थे। 2003 में सबसे पहले एनपीएस अगर लागू हुई पूरे देश भर में, किसी स्टेट ने अडॉप्ट किया, एक्सेप्ट किया, तो वीरभद्र सिंह जी ने किया। कांग्रेस की गवर्नमेंट थी, उसमें हमको दोष देने की बातें चल रही हैं, लेकिन फिर भी उसके बावजूद अभी तो ओपीएस का इंपैक्ट, फाइनेंशियल इंप्लीकेशन तो उसका आया ही नहीं। 2027 के बाद आप देखेंगे हिमाचल की स्थिति ये बन जाएगी ओपीएस की वजह से कि हिमाचल प्रदेश में सैलरी, पेंशन और मतलब देना तो बहुत कठिन होगा, लेकिन डेवलपमेंट के काम तो पूरी तरह से रुक जाएंगे। अब इनने गारंटी यही कही, कैबिनेट की पहली बैठक में करेंगे ओपीएस लागू। कैबिनेट की पहली बैठक में 1500 रुपए हर महिला को देंगे, 18 से 60 साल की महिला को 300 यूनिट बिजली फ्री देंगे, ये भी कैबिनेट की पहली बैठक में। ये सारी चीजें, 5 लाख नौकरियां देंगे 5 साल में और 1 लाख नौकरी कैबिनेट की पहली बैठक में। ये जो हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री रहे हैं पूर्व में, तो देव सिंह मुझे इतना ही है कि आपको अच्छी तरह से मालूम है, लेकिन हिमाचल फाइनेंशियल स्थिति ऐसी है नहीं। और आज ये नौबत आ गई हिमाचल प्रदेश में कि कर्मचारियों की सैलरी के लिए मुख्यमंत्री को हर महीने अनाउंस कर रहा है कि इस बार की सैलरी इतनी तारीख को मिलेगी, इस बार की पेंशन इतनी तारीख को मिलेगी। और तभी संभव हो पा रही है जब सेंट्रल टैक्सेस का शेयर जो है हमको 750 करोड़ रुपए आता है, तब वो पेंशन दे रहे हैं। जब हमको जो है रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट ग्रांट की जो है 550 करोड़ रुपए की किस्त दिल्ली से आती है, तब जाकर के वो सैलरी देने की स्थिति में हो पा रहे हैं। नहीं तो प्रदेश की स्थिति तो आज की तारीख में ये बन गई, सैलरी पेंशन देने की स्थिति में नहीं हो पा रही है। और जो ठीक बात है कि जो बात कही कि पंजाब का जो हमारा जो यहाँ हिमाचल प्रदेश में जो वेतन आयोग जो है वो पंजाब का हम फॉलो करते हैं, और पंजाब हर बार चुनाव से पहले घोषणा करता है और उसके बाद हमारे ऊपर हिमाचल प्रदेश पे कर्मचारियों की ओर से दबाव आता ही है कि अब पंजाब ने लागू कर दिया, आप ही लागू करिए, और उसके कारण बहुत ह्यूज फाइनेंशियल इंप्लीकेशन आती है। तो ये इस बात को कांग्रेस को समझना चाहिए। तो मेरा कहने का मतलब, सब जानकारी होने के बावजूद भी उसको अब इस तरह से लेना कि जानकारी नहीं थी, वो उचित बात नहीं है। और मुझे लगता है कि हिमाचल आज पूरे देश भर में ऐसी स्थिति में आ गया जहां पर टॉयलेट में अब टैक्स लगाने की नौबत आ गई। इस बात के लिए हिमाचल प्रदेश में पूरे चर्चा का विषय, हिमाचल में नहीं पूरे देश भर में चर्चा का विषय बना। और उसके बाद आपको बताऊं कि बस में किराए के लिए उसमें भी 5 रुपए, ये 5 किलो का किराया इतना होगा, 1/4 होगा, उसके ऊपर जो है 4 स्लैब बना दिए गए किराया के बस में सवारी के लिए भी। तो ऐसी स्थिति हिमाचल प्रदेश में आ गई। बिजली पर टैक्स, पानी 10 रुपए से सीधा पानी का नलके का 100 रुपए कर दिया, 10 टाइम्स। तो बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज हिमाचल प्रदेश में टैक्सेस की गई है और जिसके कारण गरीब लोगों के ऊपर बहुत बड़ा जो है वो असर पड़ रहा है। बाकी जहां तो लोन की बात कह रहे हैं, मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि जितना लोन मैंने 5 वर्ष में लिया हिमाचल प्रदेश में, उससे ज्यादा लोन 20 महीने में कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार ले चुकी है। अब आने वाले समय में क्या हालात होंगे उस सारी चीज को लेकर के वक्त पर बात करेंगे।
बिल्कुल ठीक कहा सर आपने। एंड मिस्टर दियो, हाउ डू यू थिंक दिस गैप resonate or will eventually resonate with the voter? Obviously at the end of this bargain, the voter will feel cheated.
If he doesn't get what he's been, let us say, promised, certainly he'll feel cheated and he will react, and the political party must know they should not be wanting to fight an election for just a 5-year term. Every political party should be very aware of this situation, that if they're going to say something and not deliver, they will be removed from office. That is for sure. So the voter is very erudite now. He is very knowledgeable and proactive too. They are very demanding, and under the pressure of the demands of the citizen of the country today, every political party must be fully aware of what can be or what cannot be done, and then do that. And I am happy that my seniors, my top leadership in the party gives us that in black and white, that when you start on this manifesto process,
right, sir,
see that and then you go ahead. I can tell you that. And as far as OPS is concerned, just like to add, there's not a debate on OPS. It will take a long time.
Right,
but
sir.
as far as Himachal, yes.
Right, so we've completely run out of time. Shehzad, the 10 seconds to you. I know you wanted to say something. We just have 10 seconds left. Shehzad.
राहुल गांधी जी को एक बार बता दीजिए तो वो समस्या पूरी खत्म हो जाएगी।
शहजाद भाई, राहुल जी सबसे कड़े हैं इस बात में।
Okay, on that note, it was a very civil debate. It was a very civil debate, and I perhaps
उसको सहमति नहीं देते, अपनी आपको अंदर का नहीं पता। हम लोग को मैनिफेस्टो या गारंटी पास कराने में सबसे कठिनाई होती है राहुल जी की सहमति।
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.